Hey everyone, I am so happy that you have joined us today to hear from the beautiful and magnificent Deb Day. And we are going to be talking about Deb's journey of trusting, understanding, using, and acting on her intuition in her business. And over the time that I have known her, I've seen an enormous transformation in how she's using and accessing this information and what it has done for her in her work, even in how she has actually added new aspects of her work that she really loves and have been very powerful for her in her ability to actually sign clients. So, without further ado, I want to introduce you to Deb Day, and her business is called Deb Day's Studio. So, Deb, please introduce yourself and tell us exactly who you serve and why someone would call you.
Kim, thank you so much for having me here. And I love that we've been able to work on developing my intuition. So, the women that I serve in Deb Day Studio are women entrepreneurs who have really poured their hearts into their businesses and they've given all of themselves to it because they're very hyper vigilant, really capable people who want to make sure they're doing their very best for their clients. And what's happening is they're running out of steam for themselves, for their families, and taking time that they really need to recharge their batteries. And when we step into that safe space to work together, they find that they can release that burden. They can reprioritize how they're going about serving their clients in a way that also serves themselves. And it's incredible the impact it makes on their businesses and how much their businesses can grow with a little bit different kind of effort, still delivering amazing results for their clients.
That is really powerful and absolutely needed. So, anyone out there that you feel like you are just always burning the candle at both ends, you're hyper vigilant, you're always checking and making sure everything is working right, and you do it to the point of complete exhaustion, Deb is the woman that you want to think of. And Deb, before we met, which it's been a while now, right?
Yes.
Because you entered intuitive development with me a while ago. How were you using your intuition, or what would you even have described that your intuition is back then?
I think I would have described my intuition as a way of just knowing something, but not knowing how I know it. And I think many times I would receive information and I wouldn't take it seriously. I wouldn't acknowledge it. Um, I'd say, oh, that can't be right. It's a different conversation you have in your head than the conversation in your head that tells you negative things. This is a completely different conversation, and it comes from more of like a gut, more even like there's this voice coming from over your shoulder, but you feel it's really valid telling you things. And I think my entire career was built on showing up and being in the right place at the right time. And it was driven by my intuition, but I didn't know that's what it was. But I can look back and see it today, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. And that awareness is key. And you had this great fortune of, without the awareness, still actually in some ways listening to it and showing up in those right places at the right time. Um, and I really love what you said about like not always listening to it, you know, that you knew it was always there, but you didn't take it seriously. That's what you said. And that is the epidemic for people in general with listening to their intuition and even like that greater, deeper intuitive information and wisdom is
Mhm.
not taking it seriously, not believing that it could be true or valid, and then discarding it and not following it, or following it accidentally without an awareness. So when we started working together, we did a lot more than merely develop your understanding of your intuition and your connection to it and your acting on it. We actually went deeper into that intuitive development. So, um, what would you say that being now, because you are highly intuitive now and you highly understand this process and can do it on demand anytime that you want, um, how would you describe the difference between then and now with this greater depth of information and how it affects, just even your decision process in your business?
I am a calmer person, and I'm not second guessing. And I hear myself saying, something's telling me to blah, blah, blah. And when I hear something's telling me to, I know that's my intuition. Something's
Mhm.
telling me to, and I need to pause and take a listen. Also, trusting that it's necessary I listen. It's there for a reason, and I've never been wrong about it, not once.
Yeah. And when it comes from that conversation within yourself, the conversation that's within yourself, um, it will be 100% correct. Always. Even if it doesn't make any logical sense. And it often doesn't.
That's
Mhm.
true.
Yeah. Yeah. So, um, when you are making decisions now in your business, are you, what is your process of making those decisions? Are you checking in with other people? Are you checking in with yourself? Do you do a little bit of both? How has really understanding that inner conversation changed your decision-making process?
The inner conversation is always running.
Hmm.
So when I'm present in conversations with people, I often feel a desire or need to guide the conversation in a certain direction, and I listen to it. It's okay if I don't understand the ultimate outcome of that. I used to go into a conversation with an outcome in mind. Now, that doesn't say that I don't have intention when I'm meeting with someone or I'm taking on a new task or I'm about to speak at an event. But when I do so, I like to make sure that my intention leaves room for interpretation from my soul, from my intuitive guidance, and not having to have it go exactly the way I plan it is okay. And I can rest in that. And I know that that's the best way for me to proceed with business decisions. It guides me with client sessions. And sometimes when I think we're careening down a path that looks logically the next step, often my intuition will interrupt me and say, that's not really what's meant to take place next.
Yeah.
I'll
And
wonder,
then
like, where did
and
this
then
come
what do
from?
you do? Do you listen or you keep going? Which do you do?
I've experienced it both ways. I've
Hmm.
followed the path and recognized that sometimes I've needed to offer an alternative perspective, a different set of lenses, so that the person has the opportunity, now that they've arrived at that, you know, that spot. Okay, we're standing here, but what if we could see it from this location? And if we were to see it from this location, what else might be possible? Maybe offer some guidance or some perspective that allows them to expand a little bit their own thinking, open their heart more, open maybe their own intuition to see it for themselves. And
Hmm.
they don't know they're doing that yet, maybe in some cases, but they eventually will.
Hmm.
Maybe.
Yeah. So when you're
Yeah.
meeting with your clients and having a conversation with your clients, you're able to have a conversation with them and simultaneously have a conversation within yourself to get information to help really, it's like a pattern interrupter, right?
Yes, it is.
So like
Mhm.
when you're working with your clients and helping them go through whatever transformation that is that you do, there is no greater pattern interrupter than intuitive information, and it's a skill that can move your clients so much faster than before you used it, you know, because as a coach, like you're taught specific ways of moving people through a coaching program, right? Specific skills, which are really beneficial and helpful. But when you add into that skill, being able to access information for that client that it might have taken many sessions for you to even reach that conversation with them, and you can do it in one session, um, it really changes the outcome, you know? So, what are you seeing in your clients as you are working now more intuitively with them? What's happening?
They are able to start pulling the pieces together faster.
Yeah, it speeds it up.
It speeds it
Mhm.
up considerably. So they are closing their own gaps a lot faster between where they were and where they're headed with their business. And certainly, I've been noticing that they're getting closer to really wanting more guidance on connecting to their own intuition.
Yeah, it's making them curious.
It is.
Yeah.
And I want to continue on that pathway for them and with them so that they always feel that confidence and that calmness and that self assured, I have my own guidance system. So it's really enhanced the possibilities that come from solving the one problem they came to me to solve and then really opening up
Hmm.
their world to even more abundance and more opportunities than they thought they were interested in expanding their business to do. I'm seeing live examples of it in my world right now, so it's exciting to experience it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're really delivering much more than they actually thought you were going to deliver. They're moving through faster. And like from a business perspective, like from strategically, if you can move people through faster, you can see more people, you can earn more money. But also if you can move them through faster, your work is more valuable and you can actually even start charging more, which grows your money even more, right? So it it helps your business not just in the outcome of the work and the client change, but it also helps you it helps your bank account because you can work with more people in a shorter amount of time,
Yes.
more effectively. Um, and what I found in my own therapy practice was because that was happening, especially therapy has a bad rap, like it has to go on forever, right?
Right.
It's very long term, whereas coaching, at least there's a beginning, middle, and end. Usually, when you work with a coach, you kind of know, I'm with you for 3 months, 6 months, a year, whatever it is, you know what it is, right? And there's certain expectations. You're going to get to that goal in that amount of time. Whereas therapy, it's like, woo, sky's the limit. Sky's the limit. People can be with you for 10 years, 20 years. Um, and what happened was because we were moving through so quickly, the expectation was I'm going to be working with Kim for a very long time. And then that didn't happen. So the word of mouth grew my business exponentially. I had to do nothing to promote my business. All I had to do
Right.
was the work I was doing with my clients. So I didn't have to be bothered with social media. I didn't have to be bothered with emails. I didn't have to be bothered with anything. So as a coach, right, because you're doing this one-on-one coaching, this is the potential for your business, Deb, as a coach, that
Yes.
eventually your clients are your marketing, right?
That is how it's been working for me thus far.
That's exciting. Like
My
that's
clients
music
have
to
all
my
been
ears.
referrals. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. And many moons ago when I met you, we met at an event where I gave you a reading.
I
And I
remember.
said to you at that reading, you belong on the stage. Like you are a speaker.
Yes.
And you were very excited about it that day. And you actually went on and actually gave a talk that day that you were saying, I'm not ready to do, I'm not going to do it. And then you ended up doing it. You nailed it so hard, so beautifully. It was a presentation. You blew everybody, you blew everybody's minds that day. I mean, it was a really powerful thing for me to witness and experience with you, seeing you do that.
Thank you, Kim.
And then you sort of abandoned the whole speaking thing for a while. And I was like, how are we going to get this girl going? She's like a natural born speaker. And then when we started working together, one of there are so many different aspects of intuitive development that people don't understand. It's expressed in many different ways. And one of them is actually, it's called inspirational speaking, where you're speaking from your soul. You are not preparing for that talk. You are literally stepping on a stage, not knowing what you're going to say. You might have a topic, but you are meant not to prepare it because it can't come from your mind. It has to come from that conversation from within. So it's a terrifying thing for people to do. I mean, how many people get up on a stage not knowing what they're going to say? Pretty much nobody, right? I
Right.
always say only a psychic medium will do that because mediums will do that, right? And inspirational speaking is part of intuitive work. So we discovered in our work together that you are an inspirational speaker, and we developed that, which has been such a beautiful thing to witness. We've had live events in school in this group. Those
Right.
recordings are still available for people to go and watch under the videos, watching Deb give a talk where I actually just spit out any topic and she has to talk about it immediately. Um, and the point of your talks is to uplift people and also share wisdom with them. So you were telling me just that recently you've started actually really claiming this and doing it. And
Yes.
I believe you said you just did a talk last week.
On Thursday,
Okay.
I did a talk.
So tell everyone about this. Like, how was that for you? And what was the reaction from the audience?
Kim, it was amazing. I was prepared. I had my slides. It was actually a presentation introducing myself and my business.
Mhm.
And I had my slides prepared. I got the slides ready.
Which we want to just make clear to the audience that that's not inspirational speaking,
I,
right?
I
You
did the
have the
prep
slide.
thing,
Yep, yep.
right? Because I
Yeah.
wanted to show up with a professional presentation. And at the same
Mhm.
time, I knew that I didn't need to have my talking points.
Mhm.
In fact, I forgot them.
Mhm.
And it was better because once I started talking about why I was there and thanked everyone for coming because I had a big turnout. And in the summertime, in July, they don't usually show up. It's
Mhm.
usually a low turnout. So I
So
was
this was an
thrilled with
in-person
people.
event.
It was an in-person event,
Amazing.
and this business association room was full, and everyone was paying attention. And I shared with them a little bit about my background in the music industry and shared a specific lesson I learned from an event I produced. And after I did that, I went back to my slides, shared a few points, came back and shared a case study
Mhm.
about one of my clients
Mhm.
who really went through some hardships. And I could tell people in the room were riveted. And I could suddenly feel this energy shift in the room. And people were asking me questions at the end. They were genuinely interested in how I worked. Did I follow a blueprint by somebody else or just exactly how I coached people? Somebody even described the difference between therapy and coaching for me
Mhm.
because they knew that I was going to have the results for
Mhm.
these people, that I worked with. And at the end, someone came up to me with tears in her eyes and said, I'm so glad I came today. I was so busy and I had this event planned that I'm running tonight, but I knew I had to be here and support you because every time I'm around you, Deb, I cry. Something happens in me. And that story you shared about your client, that was me. I know I need to book a session with you. And I
Yay.
said, when you feel that and you can and you want to, I welcome the opportunity to sit with you. Let's
Mhm.
do it. Let's
Mhm.
do it.
Yeah.
Well, between that day and today, she booked her
Yay.
session. But that was the result of me saying, I don't really need my talking points. I just need to be present in the room and
Mhm.
feel what's going on.
Mhm.
And I think sharing this case study is right for right now.
Yeah. And intuitively speaking is just that. It's actually connecting into your audience and identifying exactly what they want and need in that moment and speaking to that. And we can't know that ahead of time. It doesn't matter if it's, a group with something in common, like maybe it's a group of real estate agents, right? And you can like particularly think about like what they might need. No, you're connecting into each individual and reading that and then speaking to that. So inspirational speaking hits the heart of people. So people will come up to you and tell you that they cried, or they'll cry with you, or you'll see it in the audience, right? Or if it's a talk that's meant to like really uplift the mood, you will just feel and you will see it in their expressions,
Yeah.
right? And we can't know what that is until we're with the group of people and how they are in that moment, how they are
Mm-hmm.
in that moment. So you could be in front of that same group of people at a different time, but give a completely different talk based on what's going on with them in that moment. So that's you intuitively connecting and speaking from that place and having that conversation within you. So I love the concept of pairing this with strategy, right? Like you had slides, like you had your fallback, you had like certain points you wanted to make, but then you took a window of time to just speak really from that intuitive place.
Yeah,
And that's why that woman booked a call today.
that's right. Hmm.
Yeah. So it's so exciting for me because I saw this ability in you
Mm.
the very first day that we met. Um, and it's exciting to see this, you know, happen now in real time. And I really encourage everyone. I will find some of the links of those Zoom meetings that we had with groups of people where you gave a talk, and I'll post it underneath this recording too, so people can go and listen to that. Um, so that being said, is there anything going on for you currently where you're like, you said you hear usually like what did you say you hear? Like take notice of this or pay attention to this, like where you feel like your intuition is like rumbling up with some information for you to follow.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll just have, it's like a clair cognizance, I'll just feel like someone's trying to tell me something. A messaging is coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I'll say, oh, that can't be right. Or I'll say, something's telling me I should XYZ.
Mm-hmm.
And now I know, oh, okay. Well, then I guess I should figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
Or, okay, I'm going to just go with that because that's got to be right.
Mm-hmm.
And not being married to outcomes has
Yeah.
freed up so much. Like
Yeah.
all of our work
Mm-hmm.
uh, has
Mm-hmm.
freed up so much, but it
Yeah.
allows the messaging.
And, the 6 and 7 figure entrepreneurs out there understand the power in not being married to outcomes. It's
Yes.
part of it, right? It's part of that. So, what is something that's going on right now in your business that you're like, is there something that you're like making a decision on or wondering about? Let's hash it out.
Okay. Well, yes, there is actually, and I'm thinking to myself all this week. I don't really love the posting online. As you know, the majority of my clients are referral clients, and while I work with people all over the states and across the pond,
Hmm.
it's been referral based all along. So that's one thing. Let's not ignore that, right?
Yeah.
But still feeling that pull, like I have to be present on social media, I have to have a group going, I have to be visible. And that pressure to be visible and to keep showing up and to keep doing that stuff online is not exciting in regard to really feeling presence with people
Hmm.
and really giving. And if someone invites me to join something or invites me to participate, to speak, or to share, I'm a responder. I can respond to what I'm experiencing in the room, and that
Hmm.
lights me up like nothing else does, right? Just like when I sit on the set of drums and I look out at everybody sitting there waiting for our band to kick off our first song. I don't have nerves and jitters. I am
Hmm.
so stoked and excited.
Yeah.
And it's a completely different feeling
Hmm.
than being nervous and uptight and anxious about um, performing correctly. And I noticed that it's because I'm not really performing
Hmm.
per se.
Right. You're in the moment. So
I'm in it. Yeah.
basically, you're saying you hate posting. You hate writing posts. You hate the whole messaging thing. It doesn't work out so well. You are noticing other things that you love work out better, like the talk you gave last week led to a client this week, right? Um, so I think the obvious thing I want to really say to you is why are you not just utilizing that? Basically, what I'm saying is there are speaking opportunities everywhere. And I'll bet you could scroll through either your Facebook friends or your Messenger or your Telegram and see different entrepreneurs that you have relationships with that would be thrilled for you to come and give a talk in their container, an inspirational talk. You can explain to them what that is and what that does for their clients. And when you're doing inspirational talks, you don't have to even be an expert on the topic because the information is being given to you, right? So, but you can explain to them that, these are some of the things that you could talk about to help move their clients along. And
Absolutely.
instead of focusing on writing the post every day and struggling through that, send a message to someone that you have a relationship with and be like, can I come in and give a talk? Because when you give a talk, you get a client. When you write a post, you're dragging down your energy, you're not enjoying it, people feel that. It doesn't, and if you're not great at messaging, because that's a skill that not everybody has, and it's a hard skill to develop. It takes a lot of time and effort, but maybe you don't need that skill. Maybe you only need to post so people remember that you exist, and your skill is about reaching out to the people, keep creating relationships with people where you can go into their container and give a talk and get a client. And
Yes,
because you have a Facebook group, you can even offer them to come in to your container and show who they are. You can offer it as a trade, but make it very clear, like you want to be strategic about this, Deb. Make it very clear, like I get to pitch in some way to your clients. They get to know something I have going on, whatever it is the way that you want to. Because what you did last week, there wasn't even like a strong pitch from the way you described it. It was you gave an example of what happens when people work with you, right? So that's a
I
pitch
did.
without really it feeling like a pitch, you know?
And then I
So
had these cards with me,
perfect, right?
and I
So
used the
in-person
cards.
events, it's great, but like you can do this online in Zoom events. There are so many people with containers out there, their own programs, their own offers, and you can come in, right? And you could be doing this and generating clients in a way that really resonates and is in alignment with you. It works for you because you are so skilled at this. You are so good at it, right? When we've had our events and
Yeah,
you've given talks, the number one thing people say after you give a talk is, I I was hanging on every word, or I forgot I was breathing, right? They're actually really listening to you instead of tuning out. People go on and on and on, and we're just like, by the end, we're doing something else on our desk. We're not even listening, right? But an inspirational talk holds people. People are held. It's like an embrace, right?
that's
So
true.
this is something most people don't even know exists, that they can even develop it for themselves. They don't even know it, but you have it,
Hmm.
right? You've developed it. You're still strengthening it. It's going to just keep getting better and better every time you do it. That's the beauty about this, right? It's like being a musician. The drummer you are today is not the drummer you were when you were 12, right? It's different,
That's true.
right? And in 5 years, you'll be a different drummer. It'll be even better. So, anyway, that's what I really feel for you is
I think it's perfect.
start working the muscle that works.
Yes, I think that's
And
perfect.
don't waste time because I told you years ago you're an inspirational speaker and it took a little time, but with this, don't waste time anymore. Just do it. Just do it. Reach out to people today.
I will. I will, absolutely.
And I'm going to hold you to it because I'm going to check on you.
Yes, I do enjoy it. And, I'd like to be able to be a guest on anyone's podcast that would be interested in this
Hmm.
opportunity for
Podcasts
their
are
client.
one way, but you're dependent upon how well is that podcast listened to. So we have to be selective about that. But if you go into a coach's container, their program, that's an audience right in front of you.
That would
You're
be
actually speaking to people
that would be
in
preferred
real
interaction.
time, can ask you a question, can get to know you.
Yes,
I feel like that is really powerful for you
it
because
is.
it's an embrace, it's a hug that people are given when you speak that way.
Yes,
Yeah.
especially at live events.
Yeah. Classes, go into people's
Yeah.
classes, you know?
Yes.
So, all right, let's see what
Thank
happens.
you.
I can't wait.
Yes, I
And
know.
we're going to
Me
be
too.
pushing you hard at the retreat. You're going to be one of the people really showcasing inspirational speaking to demonstrate that for the other women that are, there's a couple of women that want to learn this at the retreat. So we're going to be flexing that muscle for you, but also you're going to be demonstrating, having that leadership role, which is really important, right?
Yes,
And another way
that's
for
what
you to
I'm
make
doing.
connections too. So I'm very excited to actually make that happen for you.
Yes, same.
Um,
Me too.
and tell everyone in the audience what is the best way for people to get in touch with you? And do you have a special offer, anything going on right now that you want people to know about?
I am excited about
Drum
the
roll.
I'm excited about the Resistance to Results Roundtable because
Oh,
every single one of my hypervigilant gals who are giving it all to their business could find time to pop into this container
mm-hmm,
twice a month and make sure that they get that injection.
mm-hmm. And is this open to new people joining?
And this is open to new people joining. It's a
Excellent.
month to month
Mm-hmm,
connection where they can come in, they can work on what they're really gearing for,
mm-hmm,
make sure that they're not making this huge commitment to something forever, but they're making the commitments in the moment monthly to keep their mission rolling, to
perfect.
just keep it in motion. And I have
Excellent.
a link for that
We'll have you
on,
drop the link in the comments underneath this recording for
okay,
everyone, okay? And
yes,
how do you like people to get in touch with you in general? Through Messenger,
they
Facebook friend, both? What do you like?
Facebook
Telegram?
Messenger is easy. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
I see all of those messages.
Mm-hmm.
And certainly if um, they want to DM me on Facebook
Yep.
or on Instagram, I'm going to receive that.
Okay. So we're going to also have you drop in the comments your Facebook profile and your Instagram. Okay?
Okay,
All
sounds good.
right. All
Captured.
right.
Kim.
And anyone, we will be looking for your comments, any questions that you have for us, anything that you want to understand more about Deb, her work, her intuitive journey. Please drop those comments and we will be getting to them. So I appreciate all this time with you, Deb. It's really been such a beautiful journey to witness you really claim this intuitive power that you have and understand it and bring it out into the world. I'm very,
Yes.
very, I feel privileged to have witnessed this in you.
Well,
So
I've been honored to get to work with you.
it's been great.
It
So,
has.
mhm. And to the
It really
ladies coming
shifted
to
a
the
lot.
retreat, you're going to have magical Deb that you're going to get to know,
And
and it's going to be wonderful for them too.
I'm looking forward to being there, Kim. Thank
Yeah,
you.
yeah, me too. All right,
Good evening,
everyone.
everyone.
Until next time, lots of love to you all and reach out with any questions.
Thank you.